and welcome to AGXm. Recently, LODE and AGX have become gold sponsors in an upcoming event in Dubai. The host of this event, known as the Agora Group, is known for bringing international projects to Arab and West African markets. They are among the first industries to accept payment in AGX's modern silver money, and so we thank them. And so today we speak with the CEO of this group, an international strategist, a passionate leader, about connecting people together and empowering them to co-create unique opportunities. But first, if this is your first time joining us, please subscribe to our channel as well as check out agxpay.com to learn how the power of modern silver money can help you claim your financial freedom. And now, please meet the founder and CEO of the Agora Group, Hadi Malaeb. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Now, before we get started, many of our community members may not be familiar with Agora. Tell us about why you decided to start Agora and what its mission is.
Okay, sure. So I've been living and working in Dubai for the last 16 years. Dubai is a second home for me right now. Over the last 16 years, I've been able to build a very strong network of investors and business leaders in that region, coming from the Arab Peninsula, what we call the GCC countries: Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman. These are the oil-producing countries of the Arab world. Together, they form a common economic zone called GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council. So in the last 16 years, because I work here and I live here, I've been able to develop a very strong network of investor and business leaders. And in my career, my 16 years career in the region has always been in conferences. So I was the CEO and managing director of some of the largest international and regional conference organizers in the world. So when I wanted to do something on my own, and when I decided to launch Agora, I launched Agora with the mission of helping startups, international startups, tap into that pool of investors, that pool of network that I have built over the years, that are extremely hard to tap into and to know how to access and how to talk to if you don't know the right people and you don't know how to access them. So that was the overall mission. I wanted to help companies to tap into the Arab market and Arab funds. If you flip the coin, I also wanted to have these investors that are very experienced in investing in the region to expand their portfolio into international companies. I also wanted to help them move from traditional investments such as real estate, hospitality, infrastructure, energy, into emerging technology, blockchain, artificial intelligence, these kind of things.
It really sounds like you guys are doing some amazing work, acting as a bridge for businesses everywhere. Now, I know your team creates fantastic events, such as the one we'll be attending in December, and those events are focused on disruptive technologies like blockchain, as you mentioned. What is it about the blockchain space that makes you so optimistic?
Okay, so blockchain is a little bit of a story. It's like a little bit of a dream. It's like, it reminds me of the days when the internet was first, popular. It was first emerging. Everybody thought that it will have a tremendous impact, not only on the way that we do business, but on the way that we actually exercise democracy and the way that people connect to each other. And we all thought that's going to help elevate poverty and provide a little bit more of social justice and better access, whether it is to education or to healthcare so we thought it's going to be basically the solution for all our societal problems. And of course, it didn't turn out to be that magic solution. I believe there's no magic solution, but I think blockchain at its essence, because it is decentralized and because it is immutable and because it is supposed to provide people with transparency and with accountability, that it does have a higher purpose than just a normal or other technologies. It has a place in society as a whole to help it achieve better levels.
Now, I'm curious, as to our previous conversation. As you know, most cryptocurrencies are unbacked. That causes the volatility swings that most people love or hate, depending on what kind of investor you are. But what about the idea of precious metals and asset-backed cryptos? Are you seeing a lot of interest coming from investors in this area?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I think what you guys are doing is very unique because of a couple of points. One is it is very rare that you find an actual digital asset that is backed by a real asset. So this is something that is quite unique from what this is one perspective. The second perspective is that from a Middle Eastern perspective or from an Arab perspective, a lot of the investments are, or when an institutional investor from the Arab world looks at an investment opportunity, some of them evaluate it against Sharia compliant standards. So this is something that is related to Islam. So Islam has certain rules and regulations for an investment to be deemed how do you say this compliant to the faith, and that's called Sharia compliant. And when you have an investment in digital asset that is backed by a physical asset, it makes the Sharia compliance certification much easier to obtain because it is it is by definition closer to the concept of Sharia than anything that is not backed by real assets. So from that perspective, I think it's going to be a really interesting discussion when you guys are in Dubai, because I think it will generate a lot of interest from the local investment communities. And I think that by you attending the event, by discussing those type of things with the investment community in the region, you will find that you will have a very huge appetite from the investors for your product, I hope.
I hope so as well, and I know that the team attending the Dubai event is fantastic at communicating the vision of LODE and AGX. Now, we've spoken largely about cryptocurrencies today, and I have to ask, do you feel that we are evolving into a time where we will no longer be dependent on fiat money? Could we eventually be entirely fiat free?
I mean, right now the issue is adoption and how hard it is to get normal people, or I wouldn't say normal people, but the average people on the street to start adopting digital currency. The biggest hurdle that I see right now is the fluctuating rate of the major currencies, such as Bitcoin or the likes of Bitcoin. It's virtually impossible for an average person to have a currency in their hand that can fluctuate 30% over 20 minutes. It's virtually impossible to do any kind of financial planning, of financial investing, or anything like this with this kind of volatility of Bitcoin. I think that as we progress, this volatility will diminish and it will become a little bit more bearable. Funny that you mentioned the fiat and the adoption of digital currency, because right, even in the Middle East region, I mean, recently there was an announcement by the government of Saudi Arabia and the UAE that they are creating a digital currency to facilitate the trade and transportation between the two countries. And this is huge because the GCC region, the main financial actor and economic actor in these entities are government. So the government mainly are the biggest mover and shakers of the industries in the region. And when they start talking about adopting digital currencies, whether it is a stable coin or something that is already in the market or creating something new, just the fact of them starting to talk about it will raise awareness tremendously. in the average person on the street. And I think right now the challenge is awareness and adoption. As long as I cannot go to the local store and buy, my Pepsi or my Coke with digital currency, then it will never be able to replace or even come close to fiat.
Of course, that's a great point, and I know that there are many projects, including ours, that are working towards solving that gap. Thank you again for joining us, Hadi. Is there anything else that you'd like to add for our viewers?
No, I mean, I just would like to invite anybody who can, especially from Canada, to come to Dubai and explore the business environment here in this region. It is super exciting. Dubai is a business hub. It has more than 200 nationalities, I think, living and working in it. It is an amazing place to live and to do business. It's a gateway to the entire Arab world, to Africa, to Southeast Asia. As I mentioned earlier in the interview, our type of events are mainly technology focused, and whether you are a tech startup in Canada or the States and you're looking for funds, please do reach out to us. We can help you with that. If you are a tech company as well, wanting to enter the Arab world, so we have companies that are very well established and not raising funds, but they just want to meet with buyers directly for their products. We have a series of events in different verticals. So we have the blockchain event. We also have something called the Disruptors series. And these are a series of events on disruptive technology in different industries. So we have healthcare disruptors, we have education disruptors, we have cybersecurity disruptors, and we have oil and gas disruptors. So these are the major industries that we work in. And I invite anybody who is interested in those verticals and want to go into a very lucrative market to get in touch with us.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
That's all we have for today's episode with the founder and CEO of the Agora Group. So glad that you guys could join us. And as always, if this is your first time, please subscribe to our channel and check out agxpay.com to learn how the power of modern silver money can help you claim financial freedom. This is AGXm, and take care.